When celebrities have dramatic lives, it's still better than being a spectator of your own life, being totally passive and allowing your life to pass you by without you being quite in it. Unfortunately, this is the life of many people today, mostly because of the digital aspect of it, as well as because of the fact that more and more people live on their own, and so they feel quite isolated. So they end up just staying at home and living their lives through other people online, rather than having a really quality life. But this can easily be changed. The first thing to do is to stop identifying with the sad story of your life. Because if you continue that story, you will continue vibrating in that dense way, attracting the same kind of circumstances that you always experience. So stop talking about what you no longer want to experience. But that's not enough. You also need to allow the dense energy of the sad story of your life to dissolve back into your energy field, making it more powerful and magnetic. To do that, instead of allowing the sad life story to play out in your head and being fully identified with it, simply allow it to be there without any of your energetic input. You see, if you don't give your energy to that story or trauma or to some belief or emotion, it cannot sustain itself. It only lives in you because you feed it with your energy, such as in the form of attention or belief. So when you no longer push it away, suppress it, or identify with it, meaning you believe in it and you think it's a reality, but you just allow it to be whilst staying centered, it starts dissolving because it has no life of its own. But there are other things that need to be changed for you to really start living, which is not judging anything through your beliefs, because this keeps you in ego distortions that keep you stuck, and the same applies to judgments. All of this comes from a limited mind, and because it is limited, it cannot judge accurately. And therefore, viewing everything through these mental constructs puts you as though on an imaginary ground, thus cutting you off from life, which is satisfying. Life itself is satisfying. Living in ego distortions and projections is not. So the less you identify with your story, your beliefs and judgments, and the less you identify with anything that's going on in your mind, and you stay centered in your true nature, allowing the source to shine through you, now that will bring real change, because you are radiating your original vibration, which is that of love, beauty, and harmony. So of course, if you radiate it long enough, things will start shifting in your reality, revealing its satisfying nature. But if you operate through the mind, instead of keeping it as a tool of your true self, now that's a very different vibration to your original one. And so you will attract that which is out of harmony with you. So you will be simply attracting collective stuff because the mind is made up of conditioning. So try not to identify with any emotional or mental constructs. And I wouldn't even advise relying on memories, which are always distorted by the ego. Instead, fully rely on the source. If you really trust it, it will never disappoint you. It will always make you say and do the right things at the right time. And this will quickly put you into the flow of life, onto your true path. But that doesn't mean that your road will be totally smooth. Of course, challenges will be there, but as long as you don't see them as problematic, but as lessons, they will serve a good purpose of making you grow. So you should be like water, navigating circumstances, challenges, and people with least effort and resistance. Seeing the best in everything and clashing with nothing. This is the way of the source, which continuously brings blessings, which are many kinds of expressions of love and harmony suited to your earthly personality. So life is not your enemy, but if you keep failing to learn its lessons, it can look so. So try this new way of living, a living that's done through the source, the presence, and not the mind. If you really wish to put this new way of being into practice, join my spiritual support group, where we practice each Sunday at 4:30 p.m. GMT on Zoom. Read more about my group below this video. So when you start living this way, through the source and not the mind, life starts drastically changing. It must. There will be solid evidence of things shifting as soon as you start living this way, and it will keep quickening and changing as long as you don't pause it or slow it down by believing in ego fears. So if you don't allow the ego to stop you, which will be afraid because you are leaving your comfort zone, life will start taking unexpected turns, leading you to a life that's very unexpected but perfect for you. But again, to really experience this, you must make the source and not the ego the driver of your life. The ego residing in your mind won't give up its driver's position easily. And that's why group sessions are so important. We keep each other uplifted and informed until we're able to walk on our own on this new path. The ego has many tricks and it knows all your weak spots and what you're afraid of. So when it feels like it's about to lose its grip on you, it will put up a dramatic fight to get itself back into its old position. So you will need to remain strong and keep yourself staying present and alert so that you don't fall for ego tricks, and most importantly, so that you really identify them. So if you manage to keep yourself centered in your true identity versus subtle forms of all kinds, including emotional and mental constructs, the source will shine through you unobstructed, giving you the blessing of a life that's perfect for you. So if you want to learn this new way of living and the spiritual principles which will assure your transition into this new way of life, I invite you to join my spiritual support group. Read more about it by clicking the link below this video.